So I've had this train just kind of sitting here on the sand and the desert floor. That doesn't make any sense, so I think we need to add something. So today we're going to be adding some train track to the Wild West layout. So it's been a bit of a busy filming spree at the moment, so we need to tidy this up and give it a bit of a quick dust because, yeah, it's getting a little bit dusty over here, that's fine. But we'll give it a clean up and then we can start putting some track. So when I'm dusting this layout, I just use this makeup brush. It's very soft bristles, so I don't need to worry about it scratching parts or anything. And then I just kind of move things out the way. I give the base a little clean. I'll wipe things individually, you know, move them all out, and then I pop them back in, and then we're good to go. I mean, it works for now because there's not too many things on this layout, but obviously when I add more and things, it's going to be a longer job to take things away and dust them and all that. But that's what you got to do. You got to stay on top of it because that way it won't, you know, the dust won't settle too much, and it's easy to just brush away. You don't want things, little bits of dust to get down in the corners. You don't really want that, so I just try and stay on top of it as much as I can. Okay, so now everything's been dusted and tidied up and all the other random stuff has been moved out the way, we can get to work on putting some train track down for this train here. And oh, if you haven't seen my previous Indiana Jones video where I talked about this set and what I'm going to do with it, don't worry, it's just going to be a, well, I'm going to use it for parts basically to go into this kind of mountain rock work thing that I'm going to build into this corner here. So that's why I've left that there as a kind of reminder to, I know it doesn't fit in right now, but it will do eventually, I promise. But yeah, here we go. Today is all about the train track, so let's get on with it. So I've got a nice box full of track, and well, I won't be using all of it because I don't have the space, and sadly this table isn't wide enough to even have just a simple loop going around the whole thing. So I'll do the same thing I did for my Winter Village and Lego City layouts. I'll just have a single line coming through just to give the suggestion that the world exists beyond this table. So I'm thinking it'll come in from here and go all the way across, but I don't know, should it go all the way across, or maybe I should leave it like, you know, unfinished so it looks like they're working on it. I did think about attaching it to the track from the Silvermine shootout, although the train doesn't actually fit through this tunnel here, so I would have to do some modifications to make that work. But for now I think I might just leave them separate, but it's something to think about for the future. Well, I'll be honest, it looks better already having it just go across there using Lego's standard track. I thought I'll try it, see how it goes, just to go, you know, end to end, so it's like the train can just come on and stop at the station and carry on by. But yeah, let's see what it looks like with the train on there. So here it is. Yeah, that looks pretty nice, but I feel like it could be better. Don't get me wrong, Lego's track does the job, although I feel like I want something a bit more detailed for my layout. So, yeah, I don't think I'll be leaving it like this. Like, this looks fine, I guess, and sure, I could add details onto these track pieces to make it look a bit better, but nah, that's going to be too easy. So, that's where these come in. Yes, from my recent Bricklink haul. And now, I think you know what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to get rid of this official track and make my own custom track for my train. So that means I'll be packing this away again and using this instead. So I decided to go this custom route because I just thought it might look a bit nicer. And then for the colour scheme, a lot of people would use like brown for the sleepers, but I thought I'd go for dark brown. And I guess this is completely unintentional, but it's kind of similar to the little track display stand on the Crocodile Locomotive set from a few years ago, which used these rails and dark brown pieces. But I'm going to do mine slightly differently because on that display stand the rails are actually kind of embedded into the sleepers instead of being on top of them. But I thought this might look quite nice, and I haven't tested this until now. I've just kind of imagined it in my head, and I used Mecha Bricks to kind of map it out digitally, so this will be the first time doing it practically. I think I've got more than enough parts to go all the way to the edge, but I might try it out to see what it looks like with the kind of unfinished track, work in progress sort of thing. So yeah, let's start laying these parts out. Okay, so let's start off with putting these down. So I need one of those. And so it's a 1x2 plate, and then in between it is a dark brown 1x4, then another. So, and hopefully I did the math right, and this will actually work how I intend it to. Because another thing with the official Lego track is that, you know, the spacing is kind of like double what most people would go for, or double what I'm doing, because I'm doing like every other one, where this would be every other two, for example. So you got like a 2, so it's essentially a 2x8 plate here, and then a gap of 2, and so on. But I'm going to do every other one just to make it look a little more skinnier. Then it kind of gives the idea that there's more to it than what there actually is. So this is going to be a long and repetitive task, but yeah, you know, you get the idea. So let's speed this up in the time lapse for you, because that'd be more enjoyable than me just doing this for however long it's going to take. So I've laid more sleepers down, but I have run out of my 1x2 dark brown plates, at least in this part. I've got plenty more rails and 1x4 dark brown tiles, but hopefully I've got some more of these plates in my other parts from that haul. Okay, there's a few scattered in here, so that's fine. I'm not sure if I've got enough. Maybe I did the math wrong. So I've still got a few dark brown tiles left, but the rails are looking complete until you get to this point here, where I've actually run out of 1x2 dark brown plates. I thought I ordered enough to go all the way to the end, but I don't, because I've clearly got enough dark brown tiles and enough rails. I've misplaced one of them. I have got it, so I just need to order some more of these. I might have some in my parts collection, but it'd probably just be easier to order some more. I definitely don't have enough. Even if I did have them in my parts inventory, I wouldn't have enough to complete that, so it looks like I'll have to place another bricklink order. But it's looking so much better, although maybe it does look a bit too clean and, you know, too new, but I guess in universe they've literally just laid this track down. It is, you know, still being work in progress, but it's brand new. That's why it looks lovely and clean and straight and everything. I just very quickly put together this kind of slightly longer flatbed truck for these extra rails, just using the parts only from those 2 smaller cars from the Hidden Side set that I had on here. Yeah, I'll probably improve this once, you know, I mean, look at this, it's so flat. Obviously the wheels don't turn or anything, not that they need to on this straight bit of track, but obviously if this was on Lego's real curves, that wouldn't make it round to the curve radius. But yeah, it's just using the parts from these 2 cars, you know, it gets the job done, I guess. Just for a little suggestion that it's working on the tracks there. So now I just have to place another bricklink order to get these rest of these parts to finish off the track, and we can start moving on to our next project. So I've already got one train that completely fills the tracks with all its carriages, but where am I going to fit this one? I have to include it somewhere, right?